Hello, welcome to my kitchen once again here at Trails End 62. Start of a new year, 2023, and I have a new helper. This is my lady, Evie. So she's going to be helping me out in the kitchen. I won't have to do this by myself anymore. So we're going to be doing some hamburger. I know I've done hamburger before, but we're going to be doing this a little different. This time we're going to be doing some seasoned hamburger, so when we can it, it'll already be seasoned. Normally I just do hamburger, just plain hamburger, a little salt, and then I can season it however I want to. But this is for Evie. So I've got this 10-pound, hang on here, I've got this 10-pound loaf of roll of hamburger that I got, and I'm dripping all over the floor. But I'm going to cut this in half and do 5 pounds of this with the season, and then I've got some more. I'll can the rest of it in my regular canning. So we're going to get started. First of all, we're going to put this in our pot. We're going to brown this, and we just par cook it, so it's just going to be like 3/4 the way cooked, because it'll finish cooking in the canning process. And Evie's going to be adding some spices to it, and we'll tell you what those are and how much we're putting in when we get started. Okay, we're going to par fry our hamburger up before we can it. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in some onions. And it takes about a half a small onion per pound of hamburger. Now this particular onion is some of my dehydrated onion that we're using in here. Mainly so we don't have to spend the time chopping it up. It's already chopped up. We just have to soak it in water, rehydrate it a little bit. So it's a half a small onion per pound of hamburger. And we're also going to add about 3 cloves of garlic per pound of hamburger. Now if you don't want to use fresh garlic, you can do like I do, and I use minced garlic. And so it takes about 1½ teaspoons of minced garlic per pound of hamburger. Next we're going to add a mixture of these spices, and this is, and you can buy this is ricotta with achiote, and it has to be with achiote, and it's called ricotta, and it's a mixture of spices and everything in the achiote. And basically what you do is you take about a marble size, a large marble size per pound of hamburger, and you mix a little water with that, kind of make a paste, so that you put it in there, and then you'll mix all this together as your hamburger is frying up, and that's where your spices and everything get mixed in with the hamburger. Now Evie, what would you use this mixture for, this seasoning for in hamburger?
This seasoning can be used to make meat pies, which means after it is cooked, you put it within a tortilla and close it like an empanada, and you fry it. And we can also use it to put it on top of tortilla shells to make tostadas. We can also use it for salbutes, which is put on top of a fried tortilla, but not a pre-fried tortilla. It's a tortilla that's raw, and you fry, and then you put this meat burger on top. It can also be used to make the burritos. Instead of chicken, you use the burritos for it. And lastly, they have more. You can also use it for your spaghetti.
Now we're going to finish frying this up, and while this is frying up, get my jars ready and my canner ready. And remember, we're just par frying this, cook about 2/3 cooked, something like that. Not all the way, just to get it good and brown on the outside, get the spices mixed in with it as we're doing this, but it doesn't have to be all the way cooked, because it will cook more in the canning process. So if you cook this all the way and then can it, it will be a little overcooked. Although some people do it that way, that's up to you. Okay, our hamburger is par cooked, and now I'm going to put it into 1.5 jars. That's what I use for my hamburger. And so I'm just going to kind of even this out between them so that they're even amount. So I'm going to just kind of spread it out. And it's been drained. And I'll just even this out between them. Now, this spices that we use here, you can buy that at the store. Make sure it's the ricotta with the achiote. And
Which one?
I was just looking for what it was. So you can buy that already made. Evie has a secret recipe, which I'm not going to share with you.
It's right there in the bag.
Yeah.
It's in the bag. That's a chocolate.
But you can, like I said, you can buy this already made. But Evie has a secret recipe that she uses that's been passed down. But she is not going to. We're not going to share that with you. And I dry can. I don't. Some people mix water in with these with their hamburger. Okay, here's the pasta. If you make your own pasta de achiote. If you make your own, you add this to it, or you can buy it already made with the ricotta in the ricotta. So either way you want to do it. But I'm not giving you her secret recipe. Sorry about that. But I'm just kind of even these out, and then we'll take our spacer and we'll put that in it. Get as much air out, pack it down in there a little bit, not too much. But the 5 pounds should do these 1.5 pints fairly easy. And it will settle. So there'll be a little over 1 pound in each jar. And then we'll take our bubble deal and we'll kind of pack it down a little bit. You want to leave at least 1 inch head space in these, but like I say, I'm not doing any liquid in it. It will generate some liquid. There'll still be some oil in it. I did drain this pretty good. I rinsed it, and that's why we cooked in the seasoning, so it's kind of cooked in it. Although some of it probably drained out, but that's okay. I wanted as little oil in here as possible, so this is ready to go when you're ready to use it. Now, as you can see, it didn't quite fill them up to 1 inch, but that's all right. There's a little over 1 pound in each one, 1.25 pounds, because this is about 5 pounds. And pack it in there, not too tight, because you want that air, the heat, to get around all of the ingredients to can it up good. Like I said, some people like to put liquid in it. You put liquid in it, you can go ahead and add liquid to this, fill it up to within 1 inch, which is at the bottom of the rim right here. That's 1 inch. Now the next thing we're going to do is wipe our rims with vinegar. We'll use vinegar because vinegar will cut the oils from the meat, because you don't want anything on top that will prevent it from sealing. And rings on, finger tight. Into the canner. I'll put the 4 of them in there. Close the lid. Lock it down. Now I use a 15-pound weight because I'm over 1,000 feet above sea level. And I do them for 90 minutes. The same as quarts. I do 1/2 pints the same as pints. I do 1.5 pints the same as quarts. So I'll do these for 90 minutes. And I'm ready to go. Okay, we have our first 4 done. And they came out pretty good. They're all sealed. As a matter of fact, the smell of it was so good, and I got to thinking about what I use my hamburger for when I don't make meals in a jar. When I make those, I use raw hamburger and par cook it. This is fully cooked. When I figured out what I use this for, I decided I'm going to go ahead and do the next 4 jars the same way. So we'll be using the same process, the same recipe, and of course the same secret ingredient, ricotta with achiote. There's some of it right there. Well, that's the good stuff. You can buy this already made. If you don't have a secret recipe like I do, you don't have an Evie like I do, you don't have the secret recipe. So we're going ahead, we're making Evie's right now. She's doing the hamburger, and we're going to go ahead and do these next 4 the same way as we did the first 4. So we thought we'd try some of these out, make some, what are we making here?
Jamaican meat patties.
What?
Jamaican meat patties.
Jamaican meat patties. Our first step is we put our little dough balls on our press here, and that's been down once already. We got a couple pieces of plastic here we put, keep it from sticking. And we put this down and we gently press it so we get it to the size we want, just very gently. And we need just a little bit more here. And that's where we get our dough flattened out for our tortilla to put on our empanada maker. Okay, so we took our meat here that we made, the hamburger, we put some green peppers in it because we like green peppers. And what we'll do, we put it on our empanada maker here, and we take a spoonful of this goodness and put it right in there. There we go. It's hard to do one-handed. Put it right in there, and then this little gizmo closes up. Seals the edges, and then we put it over here on the pan with the rest of it. And there they are, our Jamaican meat pies. So that's just one of the things you can do with this. I'm looking forward to making some spaghetti with it, maybe some burritos with it, some tacos with it, and a whole bunch of other things. Alright, so we did 10 pounds of hamburger with a Mayan Flair, and that made 8 pint and a halves, and they all sealed. Of course, there's only 7 here because we used one to see how it tasted. And that's it for hamburger with a Mayan Flair. Appreciate you coming and joining us. From our house to your house, from our kitchen to your kitchen. Till next time, God bless.